All right, so we have Eagle 5 back right side up, and we're ready to glue in the hull. But before we do that, I did think of one more thing that we need to do some welding on, and that is I was going to build a little step right here for getting in and out of the boat. So since that is a gluing surface right inside there, that's going to get the glue really hot if we were going to glue that first. So we ought to put that step together and weld that up first. Then we can do our gluing in next. All right, so I don't want anything too big here. I want to keep it pretty small, just basically a step to help you get up on here. So let's see what we can come up with for that. Man, that is a bummer. I dropped my saw and cracked the handle. So I got it kind of duct taped back together. That'll get us a couple more days, but I guess it's time for a new one. Man, this saw has built a number of houses. Kind of sad to see that one bite the dust. Might be time to get one of these new battery powered saws. I guess we can break down and get one of them. Let's see, if you have to step up on something that's like 3.5 wide, is that wide enough? Yeah, I guess so. You got to test it because you're going to have that one friend who's going to get on the boat and do one of these. All right, it passed the test. It is finally time for some sticky business. Yes, we are going to be sticking the jet ski to the aluminum boat hull finally. And we're going to be using this 3M marine adhesive 5200. It has some pretty impressive ratings, and it's also watertight bonding, sealing of gel coat, fiberglass, and wood. And it's also metal in the specs too. And in fact, I'll put the little chart on the screen from the instructions. The shear strength of this 5200 sealant is, with fiberglass, 362 pounds per square inch, and aluminum, 393. pounds per square inch, so that's pretty impressive. So we're going to be putting a bead of this all the way around the flanges that we have around the edge of the entire jet ski, and including the flanges that we added on with the glass work at the front and back. And then we also have that bonding surface on the bottom where we put the hull plating. So all those surfaces have to be 100% clean. First of all, they can't have any grease on them. They shouldn't have any dirt on them. You want a clean bonding surface for your adhesive. But it also recommends that they be sanded a little bit. So we'll do that. We're going to rough up all the surfaces just so they have some good bite. The temperature that you need to work with is a minimum of 40 degrees. So we'll keep it warmer than that in the shop here. Chemically reacts with moisture to deliver strong, flexible bonds. Alright, now that I have this out, see a couple more things I want to weld. A couple of spots right there. I think I want to put a plate from right the bottom of the boat floor down to the hull protection. Made a little template for that. Got those gaps filled and got my spacer welded in there. The sealant, the 5200, is not supposed to get hotter than 190 degrees or it loses some of its performance and characteristics. So that's why I wanted to do all the major welding around the glue areas. Now we're back to where I was like an hour ago. We're going to start prepping, doing a little sanding around all the edges that are going to be glued. Now we have to sand up the bottom of the jet ski edges also. Now to get this clean before I glue it, I'm actually just going to use a microfiber with some water. And the reason for that is water makes the glue cure, whereas like alcohol is actually used for cleaning up the glue. So if anything, if there's any water left on there, it's no big deal, but if there's alcohol, that could prevent the bonding of the glue. Just in case there's any pinholes in any welds. I don't really want this area to be filling up with water, so we'll do a little extra sealing around the edges before we put the actual hull in and glue it down. I want to kind of draw them into the bottom of the boat, so I'm going to check and see if they're all the way in. That needs drawn up a little bit more. That one does. Excellent. We got it all spurred down. Should be nice and tight. Now we just have to wait for the glue to set. This glue takes about 7 years to wash off, so man, let's hope we didn't get too much on us. Yeah, a little bit. Not too bad. Here we are about 3 days later. The 5200 is starting to dry. Takes about 7 days overall. I would say for the first 2 days it was gooey. Now I would describe it as tacky. So anyways, we're going to get down to some more sticky business here. So our next order of sticky business is going to be involving the back of the hull, doing a little bit of insulation, sculpting, and then fiberglass work. Okay, I'm using the gaps and cracks version of Great Stuff expanding foam. And again, I'm just looking to create something that I'll be able to fiberglass over. At least half the fun of projects is getting new tools, right? I did pick up a battery saw. It's a DeWalt. Let's see, it's a DCS573. Cordless, it's one of the Flex Volts. It's supposed to have a little more power. It's still a Sidewinder type. I like them. It's brand new, but I got it off Marketplace, so I got a deal on it. Hopefully it works fine. And we'll see if I need to buy another corded saw or not, because I'm a little bit old school, but you know, there's something about corded. You can cut as much as you want with it. You're not going to run out of power. Well, that's not always the case with battery. Sometimes they're just not strong enough, although the new tools are getting so good now. They have more power than ever. Angle stop is, I don't know if I like that more or less than the knob on my old one. The old twist knob was a little lower profile. This will probably could catch on stuff. I don't know. We'll see if we like that. And I'm gonna miss my adjustment knob for depth that was up here. These back ones, I don't know. They're okay. Not quite as nice as the front one. I like the front one. I do like it has a little holder here for the blade change wrench. That just sticks in the back there. That's kind of nice. Put our battery in. It has this rafter hook. Probably hang that on your pants if you need it for a second. Anyways, yeah, that's nice too. Ooh. Sounds powerful. Let's try a test cut. All right, that feels pretty nice. That cut very nicely. All right, let's just check a couple other things while we got this out here. That is very square. I don't know if you can see that. That's right on. That looks good. Let's also just check it front to back. I'd say that looks pretty good too. All right, well, I don't have any complaints about that. That seems good. And I'll give you a look here at the 5200. It's sealed up pretty nicely. It's getting pretty firm now. The few spots that have squeezed out around the edges. I wouldn't say it's tacky anymore. Maybe I'll just label it as a little bit sticky, but it's looking pretty good. So I did another coat of fiberglass. I just have to sand that up. I think that'll be plenty strong enough. I'm just going to end up coating that with the two-part epoxy primer that I put on all the metal too. And I think that'll be fine. So I'll smooth that out a little bit with the sander, but I think we'll end the video here and get into some exciting stuff with the inside of the boat here coming up next.